I'm excited to welcome on a top 100 prospect in the class of 2021, RJ Melendez. What's going on today, bro?
That's good, bro.
Not much, man. Well, you're part of the 2021 class. We know typically you'd be playing AAU, probably playing some FIBA basketball, going on visits and all. How have you adjusted this new year doing the virtual visits and just the way the last few months have been for you?
It's been a little tough because I wanted to go visit some schools and stuff, but we had to get like keep going with our lives, and we can like hold back with this stuff. And it's been great, like talking to all the coaches, all the support. And it's been great. You just gotta have fun with it.
And you've been pulling in a lot of offers as of late. I mean, right now you hold offers from likes at Dayton, Virginia Tech, Ole Miss, LSU, Nebraska, DePaul, VCU, goes on and on. What's your relationship like with some of these schools?
They have a pretty good relationship with me. Like the coaches have pretty interest, and they always check on me every day how I am, and that's pretty nice. Like I like that.
And some of the schools I'd like to touch up on a little bit. One is Oklahoma State, another one of your beginning offers. When you're going through a process and you see a school like them, a school like LSU that has gone through some stuff in terms of FBI issues, they've gone through different stuff off the court. How much of that what kind of stuff does that put in your mind? How do you kind of weigh those options when you come to that?
Doesn't put a lot of pressure on my mind. I just go with it. Some stuff happen and we cannot control that, but I know they can get back up.
Absolutely. And we know sometime the next year you're probably going to end up committing. When's the time you kind of are looking to possibly want to commit by?
Not sure right now when I'm gonna do time, but when God give me the time, like it's the perfect time to commit. That's it.
Absolutely, man. And I can imagine you're kind of also wanting to go on some more visits. Is that what you're kind of waiting for too?
Yeah, I'm trying to wait until this go off so I can go on some visits.
And so, what are some of the schools you are looking to that you would like to go on visit to?
There's some I would like to go on Virginia Tech. That would be a good visit. Ole Miss. That'll be another good visit. Um, UCF is right here at home. There's some other schools I can go visit, but I'm like telling to my parents still like to go which ones I'm gonna visit.
And when the time does come, I mean, obviously, it's still going to be a little bit of time to commit. What's the stuff that you know the school has to have that you're going to want to commit there? Like, what are you looking for in a college?
I'm just looking at like the coaches. I feel comfortable in that. I feel like it's a good environment for me. Like it's a family, the team. Like if it's all, it's a family. Like no self playing for you, playing for the school, not for you. I can talk to the coaches openly. I can go to them, talk to them, ask them stuff, and they won't judge me or something.
And you obviously have started to blow up. You got inside the top 100 now in some rankings. Your name's starting to get more and more offers right now. I mean, what does it feel like to start seeing yourself get a lot more recognition now?
It's been good. Like my hard days and work, it's been paying off right now, and but I still got a lot of way to go, and it's not over. Like I gotta still keep going.
At the same time, I know a lot of guys that have had to go on these virtual visits and all. Something that they always talk about that they do enjoy is they get to talk to coaches a lot more. They really get to know who these coaches are like. I mean, when you talk to all these coaches, what's kind of the personality type that you like in a coach?
I like to have fun with them. Like in the court, we can be serious and all, but out of the court, we can be fun. We can go out like as a team or with the coaches. Like have fun and at the same time.
And I know another big attraction for some guys is the potential of possibly teaming up with someone, whether a friend, an AU teammate, high school teammate. Is teaming up with someone something you would consider or you would like?
I don't know, cause I don't know a lot of people right here, but I would stay with like the guys with my school, cause I
Gotcha.
know the chemistry with them. So
And let's talk about your school this past year. I mean, you guys had a big time year, playing a part of the grind session, 25-8 record. You had a big time breakout year. What was your recap? What's your thoughts on the past year?
we had ups and downs. I thought that most of the losses we could have won that, but we came down at the last minutes. It was a pretty good season. We gave it all, and there's a pretty good matchup in a league, the SIAA. It's a pretty tough league, in not compared to any other one. It's one of the toughest leagues of Florida, but it was a pretty good season for all of us. We had four commits this year to D1s, and that's a pretty good thing.
And you really came onto the spotlight. You really broke out and had a big time year. I mean, what kind of field this? What was it like kind of coming into this year, and how are you preparing this past last summer to kind of get ready for this big year?
I'm just getting my mind ready that I gotta go hard every time. There's no soft moments or something. Nobody gonna go soft on you, so you gotta go hard to them every time. And you cannot wait until the moment gets to you. You gotta get to the moment.
I think heading into this past year, a lot of people might not have known Central Point Christian. They're kind of a school that hasn't been on a big spotlight yet, but we see you guys play school like IMG, Prolific Prep, or West Oaks. List goes on. And you guys continue to hang in there with all those teams, if not beat them. What was it like kind of proving so many people wrong this past year?
That's like many of the goals from our school. Like we're getting known right now and getting to know us, and that's the goal. Like get us on the top, like on the top of the radar, and they gonna know us. Like they already know we're beating some tough teams around the country, and that's what it's about. Like playing hard, playing our game, intelligent, and that's how we won most of the games.
And you're part of the grind session, as I said. That's obviously one of the best, if not the best league to play in all of high school right now. What was it like being part of the grind session this past year?
But it's one of the toughest competitions I have ever had, like in my whole career,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like very grateful for that tournament.
And you also were able to have a big time win against West Oaks that allowed you guys to win a state title this past year. What was that game like?
I think it's the toughest game we had in the whole season. We did all we could do. Um, we moved the ball well. We cut without the ball off screens, and it was the best game for us.
So you're coming off a year averaging almost 19 points per game, little over 4 rebounds, almost 3 assists a game, almost 2 blocks a game. Pretty good numbers. You look at next season now. What do you think you're capable of putting up next year?
I think I'm capable of putting like a lot more digits this year. So I'm getting bigger and better. And that's what I said about getting better every year.
You've had the past 4 or 5 months now to key in and work on some things. What would you say are the biggest things you've worked on the past few months?
I've worked on my body and my ball handling. Because most stuff I'm weak.
Gotcha. And we know obviously you also have Puerto Rico. You're from Puerto Rico. What's it like being able to represent your country when you're able to go out there and play in the FIBA tournaments?
It's like it's pride for your country. Like they get to know you, they support you every time. Like I like representing my flag because that's where I was born. That's where I was raised. So I will for every year I would love to represent it.
And that's something that we don't know what's going to happen now, but the Olympics do come up 2021, and obviously in future years after that. For you to potentially play in the Olympic team someday, what would that mean to you?
That would mean like a lot for me. It's a pretty big team, and that's the goal. Like get the highest I can.
Do you think possibly playing on the 2021 Olympic team would be a possibility for you?
Maybe I got a long road to go, but I don't think so right now, and the level I am right now. But maybe in the future I can.
Gotcha. And Puerto Rico also has a lot of the guys, either from the families being from Puerto Rico. You guys were able to form a really good team out there. Talk about what that team was like and just the bonds you're able to build with some of the guys.
Most of the guys I've known since I was a little kid, but it's a pretty good team every time because Puerto Rico has some good players that they don't know about really, but they can move well, they can shoot well, they can play tough. That's our game, playing tough every time, and we always have a good team.
Absolutely. And talk about growing up out there. What was it like growing up in Puerto Rico?
It was a lot of fun. You could go out like anywhere. Everything's close, like close to you in the house. You can go anywhere. School is always a fun. You can study and stuff. And basketball, it's not that serious like in here in the United States, but it's a pretty big deal in Puerto Rico.
And as I said, a lot more talent starting to come from Puerto Rico. Most countries overall have other sports that are their primary sports out there. But seeing basketball start to grow more and more out there, what's it like seeing the way it's kind of basketball developed in Puerto Rico?
I'm really like appreciated from Puerto Rico. They give me all like most of my abilities like in Puerto Rico. And I grew him in there, and like Puerto Rico's every time it's getting bigger on the recruitment. Every place getting better every year.
And it's still, like I said, a newer country overall. We're seeing more and more guys come out of there. How much talent do you think is still in Puerto Rico right now?
There's a lot of talent, but they don't give themselves like the chance to go outside in the United States. They want to stay in Puerto Rico in their comfort zone. But there's a lot of talent.
And you decided to make the move to go out to America then and play. What went into the decision? How'd you get the opportunity to come to America to play?
It was from Richie, my coach. He went to Puerto Rico like scouting, and he saw me and like he was interested. He's my dad's friend, and he talked to him. He said, "I got a job for you, and you can bring your son. I'm interested in him." And that's when I decided I had to go. I don't got nothing to look in here in Puerto Rico, so
Mm-hmm. So you make the adjustment out there to Florida now. How you get adjusted to America? What was the adjustment period like for you?
it's a pretty hard adjustment because we had to like in Puerto Rico we move the ball a lot. We don't run like in transition right here, and they run a lot, and it was like a hard change for me, but I get to adapt to it.
At what point would you say it kind of clicked for you that you realized you can become an elite player and you can become one of the top 100 prospects in your class?
Um, in my first year at the end AAU, outside I was playing like against the best prospects, and like I was like giving some competition and said I can be a good player, but I gotta work on it more.
Mm-hmm. And just another quick question: when you talk about the food in America compared to the food you used to eat in Puerto Rico, what was the best food for you?
Rice and beans from Puerto Rico is the best.
Absolutely. And I mean, you've been able now to build a bond, staying out there in Florida. What's it been like playing in Florida? How great is Florida basketball?
For me, it's like the best competition in Florida because we play hard. Like in Florida, we don't stop until we hear the whistle. Like it's the hardest competition for me in Florida. Never seen like when we went to the grind session, it wasn't hard as in Florida.
And you talk about that West Oaks game being a really big time game for you guys, one of the hardest games, if not the hardest of the year. They had a lot of big time talent on the team. What was it like going up against the guys like Selton, AJ, Frey?
It was like the greatest games. Like every time we play against West Oaks, the coach will fill up because they know it's the best teams of Florida and it's the best matchup. Like we play hard every time. It's gonna be a fight, and you can see that in the grind session. Not on the two top teams in Florida, they were right there in the Elite Eight. But I think Florida is it's the best competition right now.
No doubt. And a couple more things before I let you go. One is a big thing everyone says you're obviously super scaled, you're very talented, but part of the thing that separates you that you're really elite in is your IQ, just the understanding the game of basketball. When would you say you started really realizing that you could understand the game at such a high elite level?
Since I was in Puerto Rico, it's like that's the type of game in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we read a lot of the game, we play with patience, and right here, like it's easier because like they try to run fast, but if you play like our pace, it's gonna be hard for them because we do a lot of screens, a lot of ball movement, backdoors, and that's hard for them.
I can imagine your biggest goal is to play in the NBA someday. What's it going to take to reach that point?
I'm far from them right now. It's a lot. I got a lot of work ahead, and but that's the point. Going to university, get myself prepared, and get ready for the to see if I can get the draft the first year. If I have to do the 4 years, I'll do the 4 years every time I go. But that's the main goal.
And who would you say is a guy you kind of look to model your game after, kind of take pieces from and put into your game?
I like a lot the type of game with Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's long and he like can run the court well. But I like to the Lillard because he can shoot from the deep and like can attack the rim.
No doubt, man. My last thing before I let you go is you're obviously, I can imagine, want to build yourself a legacy for what you accomplish on the court and off of it. What do you want that legacy to be? What do you want to be remembered for by the time you step away from the game someday?
I just want to be remembered like I'm not that type of player like off the court. It's gonna be like selfish son. I'm not the type you can hang with him. I can joke with you and stuff. I can be fun. So I want to be like that guy known that gets it all in the court, but outside the court, he can jokes around and that stuff.
And I can imagine something you probably want to do. I know a lot of guys say is be able to go back home and build something for your community. Is this something specifically that you would like to do for your community or something
For
just somewhere
sure.
else?
That would be something that I would love to do for my island because I really miss it right now, and I'll do everything like to get it better.
Would you say there's like one dream, like maybe building a certain kind of building or doing something that you kind of always dreamed of wanting to do someday?
Maybe like a clubhouse that if kids don't have parents, like they can stay there and they have coaches in there, like they can play basketball, they can distract themselves.
That's awesome, man. Definitely excited to see what God's got next for you, man. I know it's gonna be big time, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you taking time to come on, my guy. Best of luck, man. God bless.
All right, bro. God bless you.